Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are. This is going to be a quick little video. It's a little off what I usually do, but kind of goes kind of a throwback to what I used to talk about, a little bit more philosophizing on stuff. And this was kind of brought upon by a conversation I had with someone, and I wanted to talk about happiness. I know it's kind of weird, but I think it does relate a lot to things like fantasy and science fiction, just reading and anime, and just pleasure in general, the entertainment, how we view things, and how we view ourselves and our interactions in the world. And I've gotten a little bit of extra kind of perspective from, reading commentary from people who respond to things I say, even in my videos. And overall, what I'm thinking is that I think a lot of our culture now, especially westernized culture, has this view of happiness that's kind of skewed. People get really, really emotionally attached to things, whether it's a book, a show, anything that they like. And that attachment causes, I think, a lot of the issues that we have in the world in terms of people's moods and how they're relating to how they feel. And one of the biggest takeaways is that, first of all, someone liking what you like, okay, shouldn't make you feel happy or sad or angry. Okay? You like what you like because you like it. It's no different than you liking ketchup and someone else doesn't like ketchup. It's just taste. Your taste buds are completely outside of your control. Now, sure, you can develop taste buds. You can, in that same logic, like you can not like a certain genre of shows or books or whatever, and then with time, you watch one, you watch another, you slowly start to understand the genre a little bit more, and it builds up that tolerance, and then you can start to maybe not love it, but you'll appreciate certain subtleties to it that you didn't before, and that will help you to appreciate it more. But everybody these days, what they want is to be on this happiness like high. We've kind of been sold this with guru bullshit, and I got caught up in this a lot throughout my life. You need to structure yourself like this, you need to do things like that, and that's what's gonna make you happy. If you get to this goal, then you're happy. Now, I think there's certain base necessities we all need in life, and that can really like build a foundation for what we might call happiness. But overall, just the overall general term of it just has no meaning anymore, because people have this idea of happiness. They have this idea like if I watch enough of these things, if I read enough of these things, if I just lose myself in those things, I'm gonna be happy. If I have this much money, I'm gonna be happy. If I'm whatever, if I don't have this situation in my life, I'm gonna be happy. And again, there's certain things that yes, you can take out of your life or bring into your life, and they can bring more joy. I think joy is a lot of a better word. But what I really feel, and what I'm really trying to say, is that happiness really fluctuates based off of very, very basic things most of the time. And this is also a conversation only about happiness. It's about depression, it's about sadness. Sometimes we are feeling really bad because something bad happened, and there's nothing inherently wrong. It's not a disease, it's not depression, it's literally your family member died and you are sad, and it is normal, and it is okay, and there's no inherent shame in that whatsoever. You shouldn't feel ashamed about feeling sad. Sometimes you're in a job and you hate your job. Now, sure, you can possibly shift your perspective on your work, and sometimes that can change a lot of things. Sometimes people just have really bad perspectives on work, and they feel like, especially again, same thing, this guru bullshit in the online culture just like pushes like you should be joyous with your job, and it should bring you so much purpose, and it should be doing this and that. No, most jobs are purposeless. The real meaning in work is the fact that it allows you to live. For most of human history, we've done pretty much nothing. We had no education. We lived on farms or out in the wild. we hunted, we grew some food, and that was it. That's all we really did. For most of human history, we had nothing in terms of like things to think about. Most of human culture. So, I mean, even in the past when we had all the philosophers and whatnot, that's a very, very tiny group of people who had any sense of like more than what was just happening in the day to day, which was like what most people never left their small little village or town. They didn't know what was happening over the hill, you know? So right now this is a very modern phenomenon of like you should have more and leave an impact and all this crap that we just made up so that we can try to deal with this existential crisis everybody's having about meaning. Okay, there's not this great magical, I mean, look, I'm not going to tell anyone what meaning you want to ascribe to your life, but to me, meaning is basically the purpose of human existence is to survive, procreate, pass on your knowledge to the next generation, and then die. That's it. And that is actually incredibly comforting to me, just to me, because it means that I can give meaning, any extra meaning I want to anything I want in life. And that's what people do. You know, they give meaning to religion, or they give meaning to their family, or they give meaning to their friendships, or they give meaning to their work. And that's great. You find whatever niche you want to like really ascribe meaning to and go for it, so long as it's actually bringing you joy and stability. But overall, really, what we need to do is rejigger our concept of happiness, because the simple fact is this: a lot of times when people don't feel happy, it's because they didn't sleep enough, they didn't eat enough, or the food they're eating is bothering their system, or they haven't been moving enough, they haven't gotten enough fresh air, there's not enough sunlight, you're stressed. Like, it's really, really basic things that, you know, there's a pretty famous philosopher by the name of Alain de Botton, and he has this line, I think it's in one of his books, where he talks about how when a child is, you know, being a pain in the butt, you know, crying or whatever it is, we don't ascribe like all these 50 million different complexities to like why they're doing something, or they're doing it to get at me. No, it's like they're hungry or they're tired. But yet we cannot just give that same like just basic reasoning to why an adult is unhappy in a moment. And that's usually what it is. A lot of times nowadays people they use isms. It's like someone is this, that, this is why they said this is why they said that, when a lot of the times it's because that person has had a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, and they're just not in a good place in their life. And so the worst part of themselves came out, and we all have that part. A lot of us have really negative thoughts, sometimes bad thoughts about ourselves, a lot of ourselves, about other people, family members, friends. You know, we can think the most horrible things about our friends and our family members. Of course, we can think even worse about strangers and people we don't know. And so when you're having a really bad day or a bad week, and especially if you're tired or you're hungry or sick, all these things can just put you in a mindset that turns you into an asshole. But yet everybody goes and ascribes the most evil reasoning to why people do things. And again, you flip it back. That same thing happens to ourselves. We ascribe the worst reasonings to why we're not succeeding. Whatever success is for you. You know, again, that's a made up terminology. Well, how are you succeeding? You made it all up. Oh, why am I not feeling better? Maybe you're just tired. Maybe you're just not sleeping well. And I think in my experience, most of the people I've spoken to in my life and with my own self, most of the time when I get into these moods of just, terribleness, and I suffer from a lot of anxiety, the brain going off. I've gone through what people would consider like depressive episodes ever since I was younger. You know, I didn't have the most pleasant childhood. And the simple fact is, I know that most of the time the reason why I feel like crap is because I haven't been taking good care of myself. And sometimes it's not your fault, you know, in the sense of like sometimes there's things happening to you at a moment that are outside your control and you're not able to buffer them. But there's so many things we can do that can help us buffer them. I mean, that's the whole conceptualization of meditation. A lot of people just don't understand meditation much in terms of like a secular view. Meditation is not supposed to help you reach enlightenment, all these things. Meditation is a bicep curl. You sit down, you close your eyes. okay, or lay down, whatever it is. There's no set way to do it. You just basically focus on your breathing, and then your brain's gonna go off. Everybody does. Monkey brain goes, and then you pull back. Monkey brain goes, and then you pull back. And you're training your brain to pull back so that when some shit goes down and something actually bad happens or angers you or whatever it is, instead of being angry for 4 hours, maybe you're angry for 2. That's what meditation does. It just helps you to bring yourself back to calm. And that's really what I think is the most important aspect of all this stuff. It's not happiness we need, it's calm. It's stability. When I feel good in a day, it's not because I'm joyous or jumping for joy. Like I'm not so, it's not about happiness. It's about, I feel calm today. I feel stable. I feel mellow, relaxed. That's really what people should be shooting for, in my opinion. Shouldn't be shooting for this vague sense of what is happiness. We all kind of know what joy is, right? There's just that excitement, and it just feel that happens. That's out of your control. That happens because of perspective and the environment and the context of where you're in. But calm, that is in your control. You can help yourself to just feel good. That's it, just good. A good day is a great day. Feeling calm and just, I don't feel like I need to prove anything today. I don't feel like I'm anxious. I don't feel, I'm calm. That is a much, much easier mindset to fit yourself in, because we've all felt calm. Okay? But happiness is weird. It's not, nobody's happy every day, so it's not something we can understand. It is a word made up for gurus online. Okay? Even the word passion. What does passion mean? It's a useless term. Oh, but I'm passionate about my work. Even the most passionate people about their work, there's days they want to shoot themselves in the face because their work is difficult, or they're tired, or this or that. But if those people are calm and they do their work, they're fine. They're fine. It's really just that sense. So I think the term happiness is just massively overrated, and what we need to focus on is just finding that calm. And I think if more people focused on that, just finding that calm, that self-internalized calm, then we would have a lot less weirdness online, where it's just a bunch of people emotionally attacking other people for the most redundant things. I've been lucky enough, I'm not big on YouTube in any shape or form. I only have a couple of subscribers, but the few times people have said a little bit of negative things in terms of my thing, I've just, given my opinion back, politely responded, and the 2-3 times it's happened, the person responded back after saying oh yeah, you're right, I was a little bit aggressive on that. There was no reason to be aggressive. This is a video about a book. Who cares? It doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm sharing my opinion, you share yours. Cool. We don't know each other, we're strangers, but we can have a calm conversation where we both just talk about something I dislike or enjoyed, you disliked or you enjoyed, and then we can find a middle ground. And it's cool if you don't like what I like, or you love something that I dislike, because the fact that you like something that I dislike is great for me. I love it. If you're able to find enjoyment in something that I can't, doesn't harm me in any way, and my disliking it shouldn't hurt you. When I'm making a video giving my opinion on something, even when I'm being a little bit of a smartass, I always try to say this is my opinion on things. You don't have to agree with me in any shape or form. It's the same reason why I watch reviews of things. When I watch a review, I'm not expecting the person to say precisely that they like what I like. I want to hear a different opinion. And sometimes I disagree, but I disagree in the sense of this is just what I happen to like. I don't really have any control over what I like. I just happen to like it. And I can try to come up with some philosophical reason of, oh no, you don't understand. If you don't see this and that, no, it's pointless. You find that in your calm, okay? Just be relaxed. There's no reason to get emotionally attached to these random things. It's just not. It doesn't affect my calm, my happiness. For someone to not like what I don't like, And so I think people need to really, really focus more on taking care of themselves. It's your lifestyle overall, I think, that's going to really, really shape how you're feeling in a day. Focus on your health, get some good sleep, get some good movement, get some fresh air and sunlight, eat some good food. Make sure you're socializing in a good, positive way. And then after that, when you're going and you're enjoying whatever hobbies you have, whether it's reading or watching anime or sports or whatever it is that you enjoy, enjoy it. But don't get so emotionally attached to it that other people's opinions on it can actually make you lose your calm, lose your stability in your day. That doesn't make any sense. It's one of the reasons why overall I don't really like entertainment sports, like the big sports like football and soccer and hockey, because people get really off on it. That it freaks me out. Like, you shouldn't care so much about something that actually doesn't affect your life in the slightest. You can enjoy it, love it, but you have to separate yourself from it. That shouldn't be why you're unhappy or upset. So yeah, that's just my overall view. Like, I really think people need to take a step back, reevaluate things. I think we'd have a lot more of a positive, like, encouraging environment online if people just got rid of this view of happiness and their attachment to these kinds of feelings, and just took a more, like, calm view of things. Yeah, I probably repeated myself like 15 times in that thing, but yeah. I thought this would be a 5-minute video, 16 minutes. Oh God, I talk too much. I'm sorry, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. I really hope that we eventually get to a point where we can all watch sports together and nobody gets angry. That's the takeaway of this entire video. Farewell.